Hey everyone, CryptoTakeOver here. Bitcoin making some large volatility moves as of right now. A couple $100 in one direction, a couple $100 in the other direction. What can we expect moving forward? As y'all can see, we are currently still holding our major trendline support as of right now, sitting right at about the 9,500 area. So we recently just had a wick down below this key resistance or this key support area, and right now we're waiting to see what Bitcoin wants to do. Are we going to make a move back up to that 10K area anytime soon? That's what I think some people have kind of been anticipating. Some of the more bullish perspective has kind of been anticipating a move to the upside, but if we continue to ride this support line here, what is that going to mean for Bitcoin? So stick around for the video. Hopefully y'all get a little bit more information on what's going to happen in the Bitcoin markets here on this channel, the Crypto Takeover Network, and we make a video every single day on the Bitcoin chart. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so if y'all are brand new to this channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that way y'all can be updated every single Bitcoin analysis video that we make on this channel. And if y'all are interested, we use the market Cipher indicator by CryptoFace on this channel. Check some of the links in the description box below. I have a link to CryptoFace's channel if y'all do want to pick up the indicator package, as well as we've added the TI sequential by Tone Bays and the buy and sell market guide indicator too. So y'all can check out some of the links in the description box. And without further ado, we're going to get started here on the 15-minute time frame. So we're looking at the 15-minute time frame. We can kind of see that our red money flow is still trending down to the side, a little bit lower. We are getting in some big green dots as of right now. We're waiting to see what Bitcoin wants to do. Currently just really sitting pretty close underneath our VWAP as of right now. Maybe a little bit of a bearish cross that might be happening here pretty soon. So could we see some more downside potential? That is possible. But we're going to have to wait to see what the bears want to do here moving forward in these markets. Let's go on into our 30-minute time frame as of right now. We are starting to see that first sign of a sell signal here now appear on our 30-minute time frame. So just to be kind of aware as of what's going on right now, it does look like we are trying to make another anchor wave down below our 60% level on our blue wave as of right now too. And maybe that could indicate a big green dot that could occur here in the near-term future as well. Let's move on into our 45-minute time frame, see what might be happening here. 45-minute time frame looks like we are getting somewhat of a EMA squeeze as of right now between our two key EMAs. We can also see that our money flow is kind of moving into the red as of right now. We are getting a red dot moving us below our zero pivot point on our blue wave. So we're going to have to wait to see what's going to have to play out here in the near-term future. And let's go ahead and turn off Cipher SR as we move on into our hourly chart and get a broader perspective. Let's go on into the hourly time frame. You know, as we start to zoom out, we'll kind of get a cleaner, precise or precision area of what Bitcoin might want to do in the near-term future. But even as we're zooming out right now, you can kind of see that we've had some very large volatility moves. We had this big BART pattern here that played out, kind of that rejection at that 10.5K area, and then quickly rejected, moved back down, been kind of trending sideways. We've seen some blood diamonds start to appear here and just indicate some more sell-off that could be occurring. And now we kind of push back to the upside once again, and now we're waiting to see what Bitcoin wants to do, if it might trickle off just a tad bit. On our hourly time frame, we are getting another EMA squeeze that is possible to make another move in one direction or the other. Money flow is still kind of trickling off to the reddish territory as of right now. So we're going to have to wait to see how this wants to ride out as well. We're getting that Christmas tree pattern on our blue waves too. So, you know, that obviously indicates a big move that could be occurring relatively soon. And the fact that we haven't really had any huge anchor waves on the top side here, this does indicate that it looks like it might be a little bit bearish as of right now. So let's go on into our 90-minute time frame, see what's happening here. 90-minute time frame just now starting to break below our key EMA. And wanting to see support around that 100 EMA as well. Starting to zoom out here on our 90-minute time frame. Our money flow has been kind of rounding off just a tad bit. It looks like we are starting to make more of a reddish appearance on our money flow, currently putting in another red dot. Blue waves are kind of pushing below that zero pivot point as well right now on our 90-minute time frame. And as we start to zoom out, we'll get a clearer perspective of what's happening here. We can start to see that we do have our major trendline resistance right at about that 10.4K area. So if we push back up into that area, that's going to be major resistance. As you can see, we got rejected with this wick all the way up here. And now we are getting another bounce at this key EMA area too. We did wick through it. We wicked through this major trendline support at about the 9,400 area. But we couldn't break below it. And I told my group that I really wanted to see a clean break below this 9,400 area. I want to see a clean break below that area and also hold that area as resistance and hold this trend line if we break below it as resistance, and just to see whether or not Bitcoin will maybe end up getting a sell-off. But I'm going to remain relatively neutral as of right now, just because I've always said that the key area for our bullish sentiment is 10.5K. If we cannot get above 10.5K, then I don't have any room to really be bullish right now. I can remain relatively neutral. And so that's really what I've been providing information inside of the trading group with too as well. Moving on into our 2-hour time frame here, we can kind of see that we are getting that red dot once again, putting in another trigger wave, possibly putting in lower highs here on our blue wave, putting in some lower lows on our blue wave here. So we could see another nice little sell-off to maybe get our big green dot here on our 2-hour. So we'd probably want to see a larger blue wave, an anchor wave down here. And being that our money flow is kind of moving into the red right now, that is a firm possibility. We are starting to see those first signs of our red Heikenashis as well too, starting to break below our key EMA areas as of right now as well. So guys, I do want to inform y'all that we do have our trading group. We're kind of just sitting on the sideline right now, but we're waiting for a big break to take place here pretty soon. So I do want y'all to be informed about that. I want y'all to get in there and learn a lot with us as well. Y'all will see all the different perks that y'all will get when y'all do sign up with that Patreon link down in the description box below. First link, if y'all want to get signed up for it, feel free to message me if y'all have any questions about it. But I have added the buy and sell indicators with market guide on a few different time frames in there. So those alerts will actually appear inside of the Discord server when I give you access to that Discord server. And then you'll also get the private analysis each and every single day that I provide for the group to give us a bit more confidence in what direction the market might end up taking within the end of, probably more than likely by mid-June. We're looking for probably a really substantial big move before the end of June. And so are you going to be ready for that? That is the question. And we want to make sure that you are ready for that. And if you're already in the private group, get ready, because this is probably going to be a substantial move that's going to have a lot of people freaking out and maybe get cause a little bit of FOMO in one direction or the other, right? So feel free to join us inside of that private trading group on the Patreon page. First link in the description box below if y'all do want to sign up for it as well. And then also I have the YouTube membership page if y'all are interested in getting some of my private chart readings that I do on other chart patterns, as well as the altcoin chart reviews, S&P 500, gold and silver. I'm going over a lot of those charts as of right now just to get a kind of a confluence about where Bitcoin might be headed to, but to also know what other investments I want to make in the near term future. If it's smart to get into the stock market right now, that's yet to be determined, but I have gone over some altcoin chart reviews inside of the YouTube membership page. So if y'all want to sign up for the YouTube membership page, y'all will get access to all of my private videos that I do on the altcoins and the S&P 500, all the stock markets that I want to go over as well. And so comment on those YouTube videos that I have inside of the membership page. Tell me what you want me to review, and I'd be happy to go over that for y'all. It is a little bit cheaper than the Patreon page itself, so this is obviously another option for y'all as well. But you will not get access to the trading group. You'll just get access to the private videos that I provide. And then also, everyone, we're on our way to 3,000 subs. I'm so excited. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful for everyone being here with us on this channel, on the Crypto Takeover channel network. and being part of the family too, and helping provide all the insightful information that everyone can provide, especially in the Discord community. The Discord community has been great. I feel a lot of people are participating in there as well, and as we start to further grow the community, we can anticipate a lot more people to join our community as well. But we're doing a $100 giveaway at 3,000 subs. In order to qualify for that giveaway, I need y'all to sign up for the newsletter. So third link in the description box below, sign up for the newsletter. You'll be qualified for the $100 giveaway and one of my favorite altcoins. I typically don't do a newsletter every single week. Usually it's about once per month, but I will be doing another newsletter here relatively soon. And you will get access to that newsletter when I provide it and when I send it out. And basically, I'll just give y'all some of the private videos that I give my Patreon members only inside of this newsletter here. So make sure they all get signed up for that, get qualified for the giveaway. And then once we do the drawing, it's an easier way for me to get a hold of you if you provide your email and your Discord name as well too. Then also the community Discord is free. If y'all do want to join it, feel free to check the links in the description box. Make sure that y'all read through the community rules and guidelines page. Once you read through those, click the little green checkbox. That'll give you full access to the Discord server. But obviously the private Patreon page is only available for those members that have paid. And then once you pay, I will gladly give you access to the private categories on that Discord server as well. So make sure that y'all get signed up for the Patreon page if y'all want access to the full private chart readings as well as the daily summaries inside of that Discord server as well. Let's go back on into the charts here. Let's not get carried away. But looking at our 2 hour, we can start to zoom out. We can see that we are kind of still anticipating maybe a further move down, putting in some lower lows and maybe a lower high with that trigger wave there too as well. Let's move on into our 4 hour time frame, see what's happening here. 4 hour time frame, we are getting that first sign of that sell signal on our 4 hours. So this is pretty substantial. As you can see, our last couple of sell signals on our 4 hour have indicated some major sell-offs, and our buy signals had, relatively good, price movements with them as well. So this is not to be taken lighthearted at all, but we could possibly see another sell-off occurring here. And then looking at our Cipher B blue pattern, we can also see that money flow starting to trickle off down, ready to maybe move into that reddish territory, putting in some lower highs with our trigger waves. Possibly ready to put in a lower low with our blue wave as well, maybe trying to get that anchor wave down there pretty soon. So we'll have to see whether or not if we break support below our key EMA here, then we'll look for support on our 100 EMA, and then if we don't hold that as support, then we will more than likely see a death cross occur here, or a bearish cross, maybe pushing us back down below this key support level at about that 9,500, 9,400 area. And that key support level is this trend line that's been holding us, as support ever since we dumped to that 4K area. So this is major trend line support for us, and we have major, even bigger trend line resistance up above head at about that 10.5K. It's been resistance for the past 3 years, I think, in Bitcoin already now. So that trend line resistance is going to take a lot of volume to push us back through, versus the 4K area, which has just been the past couple of months at the beginning of the year. So that just kind of indicates on what trend line has precedence over the other, right? And so I think we can kind of get a reference for that if you've been in Bitcoin for a while. But we can start to see here as we zoom out on our 4 hour time frame that the money flow is kind of rounding off just a tad bit, maybe indicating a reddish bearish turn into the future possibly. Let's look at our 6 hour time frame here, see what's happening. 6 hour time frame, also telling us getting a lower high on our green money flow as of right now. And we can kind of see that maybe we did kind of turn red just a tad bit, but we are starting to get kind of this unsurety in the market right now with the large volatility spikes from one direction to the other. And I think as Bitcoin decides to just ride along this wave, along this zero pivot point, especially with our green money flow, we can obviously indicate that price was going to be very fluctuating within the next couple of weeks going on into the end of June. So we are expecting kind of a big move relatively soon, but we don't want to get faked out here. And that's the only thing, is that I think a lot of these moves right now are just kind of fake outs to maybe get people to get bullish or bearish in one direction or the other, and then move price in the opposite direction. As y'all know about this BART pattern up here, I mean, we really just had a wick all the way up to our trend line resistance, back down to our trend line support. Pretty freaking wild. So right now we're kind of just waiting, like I said, in the group, just to get a clear break in one direction or the other. My group already knows exactly what I'm waiting for. And they know whether or not to take one position or the other based on what I have told them. So they're definitely just kind of being patient right now. And that's really what my analysis is on the market, is just that I want to remain patient when at all possible. I don't want to get too hasty in these markets. Day trading these markets are really, really challenging for a lot of people. So I look for the bigger swing moves, and that's really what I want to do, is that I want to look for the big swing moves, time the top and the bottom relatively perfect, although you can't be extra precise with it, but we want to get a firm direction in price movement before we take it. So this is our 6-hour time frame. Let's move on into our 8-hour time frame, see what's happening here. 8-hour time frame, also putting in some lower highs with our green money flow. We did turn red just a tad bit. Now we are just starting to ride around that zero pivot point with our green money flow, and maybe indicating that we could turn red relatively soon. We'll start to see a lot of price fluctuation, I'm sure, as we continue to ride the zero pivot point, putting in somewhat of that Christmas tree pattern on our money flow, and then also our blue waves too as well. It does look like we are kind of putting in some lower highs here on our blue waves. So we're going to have to see whether or not these trigger waves are going to play out, and they're going to send us down a little bit lower. We are having a green wave here, but that could be very short-lived based on our money flow being unsure whether it wants to turn red or green. And then also maybe end up indicating we could end up getting a red dot right around the zero pivot point too as well on our 6-hour, to then decide another direction in the market. Let's go on into our 12-hour time frame, see what's happening here. 12-hour time frame. Also, money flow continuing to round off just a tad bit. I think CryptoFace pointed this out the other day on one of his videos, but kind of a little bit of a head and shoulders forming here on our 12-hour. So that, I think I pointed that out a couple of videos ago as well too. Y'all can go back and reference those if y'all want. But usually these head and shoulders patterns like to play out on our Cipher B indicator as well. So that's just something that we need to take note of. And then also the fact that our money flow is still kind of rounding off just a tad bit, maybe indicating that it's ready to turn red relatively soon, could possibly give another trigger to this head and shoulders that wants to play out there on our Cipher B blue pattern and our blue wave there. Still relatively holding support above our key EMA here on our 12-hour. So that's a good sign too for the bulls to maybe continue to ride this up all the way to the end of our symmetrical triangle. And I do feel like we'll probably make our way towards the end of the symmetrical triangle and then get a really, really big break from one direction or the other. So we're going to have to wait to see exactly how that's going to play out. But as these symmetrical triangles like to squeeze even tighter, then we can obviously indicate a bigger break that will occur then. Our 21-hour putting in some lower highs on our blue waves, money flow also kind of rounding off just a tad bit, maybe indicating that it's ready to turn red relatively soon. We're going to have to wait to see how this wants to play out, but obviously you can kind of get a direction in price movement as of right now looking at our 21-hour. Let's go on into our daily time frame, see what's happening here, and we'll get back right to that in a minute. Folks, if y'all do want to join us and stay up to date with us, with the TakeOver family, what we have going on the channel, if we're running any specials on the VIP group, I will announce all that in the Telegram channel. So check out the links in the description box. Come check out the Telegram channel. Usually I'll do news articles in there. I'll post some of the chart reviews that I'm also looking at. If I see any big indications on some charts, then I will also post them in the Telegram channel. So feel free to join us in there. The members are growing, so I'm super excited and stoked for that. And yeah, you know, we're growing the channel. We're doing what we can, and we're staying consistent here. So I've been really busy these past few weekends, and I hope that y'all have been patient with me and know that Putting a video out every single day does take some time, but I'm willing to do it, and to also further my study inside of chart pattern analysis as well. It helps me stay consistent with that. And if y'all are wondering what charting software and website that we use TradingView. So right now I have the premium plan, and actually inside of my Patreon page, I tell my members how to get these plans for 50 to 60% off. So there's about 12 to 15 different private videos inside of that Patreon page. And I tell y'all how I set up my charts. If y'all are using Market Cipher, mine looks a little bit different than some of the other ones. So I tell y'all how I kind of customize it so I can look at it easier. And then also I give some other videos in there on how to set up the whales buy and sell signals, which is another indicator that we'll start to use here on these higher time frames. And then also my EMAs. And so I have one indicator for all of my EMAs put together, and I tell y'all exactly what the code is that I use to get that. It's a custom Pine script, and I tell y'all how to set that up inside of my private Patreon page too as well. But if y'all are using Market Cipher, I would at least recommend that y'all have the Pro Plus plan, if anything, so that way you can have a few more indicators on the screen. And like I said, I have a private video in there on how to get that for 50 to 60% off if y'all are interested. And then also a great way to program your own trading bots is using 3 commas. It also allows me to get in and out of the markets relatively quickly without having to kind of sit there constantly, look at my screen and adjust my limit order. Actually, 3 commas allows, there's a bot in there that can put in limit orders pretty quickly. And it does it all automatically. So very interesting too. But definitely check out 3 commas if y'all are interested in creating your own trading bots as well. And then if y'all just want to buy and hold and hodl, sit on your bag, hey, I don't blame you. And I always encourage my group to have a hodl position too as well. It's very important in these markets because they are so volatile, and you can never you can never time anything perfectly. And so if you aren't one of those that can sit at the computer all day and watch charts every single day, then I would recommend that you just buy a Ledger Nano X or S and hold your private keys on there. Remember, not your keys, not your coins. And we want to make sure that we stay as safe as possible inside of the crypto space. And then if y'all are interested in leverage trading, there are a few platforms that I would recommend. Bybit is my go-to platform, and there's actually a testnet on there that you can use, and you can actually use that testnet. So you just want to get signed up with the link in the description box, and then once you get signed up, ask chat support how to access the testnet, and basically allows you to paper trade BTC, so that way you're not putting any of your own BTC at risk until you get familiar with the platform and until you become a profitable trader too as well. And then also Prime XBT is another leverage trading platform, and FIMX is another leverage trading platform. Y'all can check both of those out if y'all are interested, but our go-to is Bybit for the most part. And then I just clicked an ad in the bottom right-hand corner. Basically, that was a Brave browser ad. And what Brave browser allows you to do is collect BAT token by clicking on these ads in the bottom right hand corner. So I recently just got paid out in BAT token. As you can see here, I got paid out in BAT token at the beginning of the month by clicking on some of those ads in the bottom right hand corner. It's not a lot of money, but hey, it's a nice convenient way to maybe earn some passive income inside of the crypto market, especially if you're browsing the internet quite a bit or whatever. Brave browser is definitely a browser of the future. It's made by the same people that made Mozilla Firefox. So if y'all want to check that out, links in the description box below. Let's jump back into our chart analysis really quick. So we're looking at our daily time frame, and you can tell how much volatility is actually going on here based on the TI sequential actually. So we're getting these 1-2, 1-2 patterns. Price just being very unsure of where it wants to go. We're seeing some nice Darth Maul wicks occur here, as this whole topping out pattern has been relatively wicky, like really wicks in both directions, one way or the other. And I think even as we start to get into the end of the symmetrical triangle, we'll start to see how those wicks like to play out on these sideways moves that can go one direction or the other. And we can see here on our blue waves, we're also starting to get some of those Christmas tree patterns. And as we start to get those Christmas tree patterns, that's really going to play into a bigger move in Bitcoin as well. So a lower high here with our blue wave, but our money flow is looking relatively sideways as of right now. So that's just something to take note of. You know, if we start to put in another lower high, then we'll probably see these see the money flow start to round off just a tad bit more. But if this green dot wants to push us up any higher, then we could still continue somewhat of a bullish run up and maybe come back up and retest that 10.5K area. That's a firm possibility. So we just need to be ready for whatever right now in these markets. You know, things are looking very unsure as of right now in some of these markets, and we just need to take a clear direction or a more precisioned, you know, idea in direction of one way or the other. We can start to see here that our hash ribbons are also closing up just a tad bit. They are just kind of moving sideways as of right now. No indication of lower lows being put in, but until we see probably a buy signal there, I do want to remain relatively cautious, and I won't take any big trades based off of us still being in that capitulation area as of right now. So, and just really recognizing with what Cipher B might be telling us as well. Market Cipher is our bread and butter on this channel, and I rely on that indicator probably the most out of any other indicator that I use. So you definitely want to have your hierarchies with your indicators that you are using and know what your go-to indicator is. So we can kind of see here on our 2-hour, money flow, or our blue waves are also putting in somewhat of a trigger wave as of right now. So that trigger wave could send us down a little bit lower. We're waiting to see what the money flow wants to do. It does look like it is putting in a lower high here on our 2-day. Let's zoom out into our 3-day, see what might be happening. Our 3-day also kind of money flow is just moving off to the side. I mean, it still looks relatively bullish, but we are starting to see lower highs on our blue waves as well too. So that's going to be something to take note of. VWAP just looks like it's moving out to the side as of right now. We are in a bullish count, but you know, we're going to have to wait to see exactly how this wants to play out. And I did want to put on our whales buy and sell signals, see what might be happening here. Moving on into our 4-day time frame. Let's see what's happening. We did get this sell signal here on our 4-day time frame, still making support above our key EMAs as of right now. We do have a green dot that has triggered for us. It has confirmed, and so now we're waiting to see what Bitcoin wants to do. Our VWAP still relatively moving sideways. We could have another move back down. Our VWAP may be putting in some lower highs here too as well. So we're really gonna have to wait to see how this wants to play out. Money flow just kind of moving off to the side. Let's move on into our 5-day time frame, see what's happening here. 5-day time frame, first sign of a bearish count, and so you know, our green dot did get confirmed on our 5-day as well too. Let's open up our blue wave, maybe a lower high with our money flow. That's a firm possibility as well. You know, even in our blue waves, it does look like a lower high that might be forming here too. So that's just something to take note of as of right now. I did want to kind of look at our NBT ratio and see what might be happening here. Just moving out to the side as of right now. It could be a lower high though. There really is no telling right now. We're going to have to wait for a more clearer move, and that's really why I'm just remaining patient right now. I'm not getting hasty. I don't want to make the wrong decision. These wicks have been really crazy right now, and with a lot of other things going on, it's probably best to just kind of sit right now and just wait for a clear direction and not be too risky. Looking at our 6-day, also no sign of a red dot just yet, but I know that we were going to look for our weekly pattern to see whether or not that confirmed a 9 top. So let's see what happened here with our weekly pattern. Let's dive on into that really quick. And our weekly pattern did confirm its 9 topping out pattern. So, you know, we're going to have to wait to see what Bitcoin wants to do. This blue wave could have another spike, and we could just push up even higher. I mean, that is a firm possibility. It does look like almost a higher high here on our 5-day or on our weekly time frame as well too. This was back when we tested that 10.5K and we got rejected, and now we're testing 10.5K again, maybe putting in a higher high with our blue wave, but we're gonna have to wait to see how this wants to play out. Money flow, I mean, it looks pretty steadily off to the side as of right now, so no sign of you know, the clearest direction possible, but we can kind of get an overall probability based on some of our lower time frames and what that might be telling us. But I do think that we are going to have relatively a lot of price movements in one direction or the other. Probably a lot of Darth Maul wicks that could be occurring here in the near term future. So I just want to remain patient, and I suggest that, obviously not financial advice or anything for anyone, but I can only tell you what I'm doing, and based on what I'm seeing on the charts, what my predicament is as well. So with that being said, I won't keep y'all here too much longer. I did want to tell y'all about CryptoTab browser, which allows you to mine Bitcoin straight from your laptop or your computer just using a simple lightweight browser. So you can download the CryptoTab browser and you can start mining BTC straight from your web browser. So I have this running on 2 other laptops that I don't really use anymore necessarily, but they are mining Bitcoin for me every single day. And so you can leave this running on your computers if you like, and it'll start making passive income for you. You can also download the app on your iPhone or your tablet, and also have your phone or your tablet earn some passive income for you too as well. So be sure to check that out if y'all are interested. Links in the description box below. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. Feel free to message me on any of these platforms if you like. If you have any questions whatsoever, I'd be happy to answer them for you. And then also don't forget about our Patreon page. If y'all do want to become a member of that, check out the first link in the description box. And then once you join, message me your Discord username so I can give you access to the trading group on the Discord server. So, all right. That's that. We'll remain patient in these markets. We'll see what's coming up ahead for us as well. Still making our move in through the symmetrical triangle as of right now. So we'll keep an eye on it. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll see y'all then. CTO signing out.